People who are toxic absolutely need some type of energy, whether it's positive energy or negative energy. But because they're toxic, they're going to gravitate more toward things that are negative. That's why they love drama. They love drama series and TV shows. They love videos of people fighting. They love arguing. They love gossip. They love anger, anything related to drama, anger, other people's misfortunes, whatever it is, right? They feed off of that negative energy from other people. And a lot of times it is because it makes their own life not seem so bad. That's why I talk about like those nosy coworkers and stuff. They want to know what's going on in your life, because they want to know, are you doing better than them or are you doing worse than them? If you're doing worse than them, they're going to love that, because now they've got some gossip to give around. Now they've got some fuel that they can add to the fire at the workplace. And it's not just coworkers. This is anybody. This could be at your school, like if you're in college, high school, whatever it is. This could be at church. This can be at within your family. This could be friends or people you thought were your friends. It's anybody. Toxicity runs rampant all over the place. And people that are toxic are going to feed off of that negative energy from other people. They need that. Now, in order to get that type of energy, to get them all riled up, to get that dopamine that they need, they tend to provoke it out of other people. So if you are somebody who is just mild-mannered, you're just minding your own business, you are living your life or whatever, and they feel like they need to have some type of response from you. They're trying to get some type of negative response from you, from whatever it is that they're doing. They will continue to provoke you. They will do whatever they can. They will criticize the things that you love to do or that you like. For example, if you like conspiracy theories, right? They're going to criticize it and make it seem like it's something weird around you or to people around you, trying to get some type of negative response out of you or provoke a negative response from you. If for some reason they can't get a negative response out of you, they will try to get other people to do it for them. And they'll do that by manipulating them, telling them wrong information about you in hopes of like bullying you or intimidate you. And they can and it's either that option or it's just leaving you alone. But leaving you alone is not going to give them the dopamine that they need, that negative energy that they need in order to feel better about themselves, in order for them to move on for the next few hours, because they're going to do it to somebody else. So if they can't get that out of you, they will try to go after somebody else. But for the most part, if you are just somebody that really has a bright light within you that exposes a lot of things that they are lacking, like for example, if they can tell that you've got inner peace, they're going to project their pain and suffering within themselves onto you. Let me tell you something. Toxic people do not know what peace is. They don't know what it is. And peace is like walking along still water or walking beside still water. Peace is being able to lay in green pasture and just smile and fall asleep. They don't know what that feels like. They see somebody that's sitting there minding their business really quiet. They're going to call them boring and try to stir some stuff up. That is what you call toxic. And they don't know what peace is. They'll say that person is not, that person doesn't have any peace within them. Or they'll say that person is really hurting on the inside. It's like what they're doing is they're projecting their own pain and suffering onto someone who already has found peace. They don't like it. The one thing that a lot of toxic people do not like is silence. They don't like silence, because if you think about it, for example, we're going to use the coworkers, for example. They see you working at your desk or wherever, and you're being quiet, you're quiet the whole time. They don't like that. They need to find something on you. And for the most part, the reason they don't like it is because they start to feel like you are observing them. They start to feel like you are finding them out. They don't want to be found out. They don't want to be exposed for the fact that they have a horrible home life. So they come to work and they lash out at everybody at work. And this is at church too. Like, you got church members that go home to a horrible church life, I mean, a horrible home life, and they come to church and try to be holier than thou, and they point out everybody else's faults instead of looking at their own stuff. And, there is a scripture that says you can judge. People always try to say, don't judge, but there is one part where you can judge. It's called righteous judgment. But in order to do that, you've got to take the plank out of your own eye before you can judge other people and what they do, which just means don't sit up there judging people and you got a whole bunch of stuff going on, in your own life. But a lot of people in churches, they don't care about that. They'll do it anyway. They love to point out the flaws in everybody else, and they won't step back, and they'll act like their life has always been for God. And not only has it always been for God, but that they are not sinners. We all are sinners. Just keep that in mind. We all are. We're born into sin. We all are sinners. And they will pretend like they've known the Bible front to back. Even Satan knows the Bible front to back. Other things that they'll do is they'll try to keep you distracted. They will try to keep your mind distracted by doing stuff that doesn't even matter. Like, they will copy you. You might come into class one day and you've got your hairstyle a certain way, and they will mock you, or they will shame you, or they will criticize your hairstyle. And then like a week later, they will have the same exact hairstyle. And someone will say, oh, your hair is cute or whatever. And they are like, thank you, just in need of that attention. And you're like, yeah, I did that like a week ago. But you don't say anything because you start to pick up on patterns. You realize that this person is toxic, that they are doing things. They are, it's just the little things. It's in the subtle things that they do. And they'll gaslight you to make you feel like you're going crazy. And even if you try to bring it up to somebody else, it'll really make you look like you're crazy because those other people don't see it. It's like little subtle things that they do. It's very manipulative. They'll provoke you when other people aren't around. And then the moment other people come in, they're smiling again. And when you try to bring it up to somebody else, like, hey, such and such is always doing this, I think I'm not going to really deal with them. People they will start to turn on you because they're going to feel like you are bringing up issues, you are making things up, you are starting drama, but they are not around when that person who is trying to get a negative response from you is actually provoking you. They're doing it in subtle ways. They will try to manipulate your emotions. They'll do things like constantly cry around you about little things, and they know that it will create some kind of response. If it doesn't create a response, like if you're like, look, you cry about 50 times a day about small stuff, I'm starting to believe that this is fake. Like I'm really thinking you're faking. But if everyone else is like, oh my gosh, and it's going to make you seem like the one who is not empathetic. It's just that you can see past it. You're seeing past the BS because you picked up on the patterns. You've picked up on the fact that they are manipulative. They use their emotions. They create these fake emotions to try to get some type of response out of you. A lot of mothers, or I don't really, I know fathers do it, but I have heard a lot of it in moms who do it, who are narcissistic. They will, oh my gosh, they will dog out everybody in the family, talk so bad about everybody in the family, right? Relatives, cousins, aunts, uncles, whatever it is. But the moment somebody says something to that person, she's crying and everyone is consoling her and everyone is like, no. And I know y'all know what I'm talking about because y'all have written in the comments about your moms. I hate that y'all have had to go through that. I know what it feels like. You get to a point, but you get to a point where you're just like, okay. Because what'll happen is that they'll cry, right? And in the very next second, all of a sudden the crying stops, because what'll happen is that they're crying. Something will trigger and they'll start crying. At least you think they're crying. And then the very next second, the crying stops. And you're like, and they're back to either rage or they're back to something normal, acting normal. And there were never any tears. And they do this about 50 times. They do this every time they need something, every time they need money, every time they need sympathy, every time they need whatever it is, right? but you've picked up on it. You've picked up on the fact that they do this every time and it's become a pattern. It's starting to look fake. That's because it is fake. And if you say something about it, it's going to make you look like you're crazy because everyone else hasn't picked up on it yet. I posted a meme about Bruce Lee, a saying that Bruce Lee said, and it was basically talking about just being observant, you know, not speaking or saying anything, and just letting words, certain words, like just breathing and letting certain words go past you. And really, it's like there's a time and place for everything. Yes, you want to speak up. You want to speak out against injustice. You want to speak up against, you know, being harmed. If somebody is directly harming you, whether it's emotionally, physically, whatever, you want to stop whatever generational trauma is going on by not allowing certain behaviors to continue on within the family. You know, there's things that you do. There's a time when speaking out is necessary, but there are times where there are situations that just does not require a response from you, because that is exactly what a toxic person wants. They need some type of response from you. If you learn how to master your own emotions, you'll kind of discern when you need to speak up and when to just breathe and let the words pass. You don't have to engage in every single argument. You can sit back and observe and let a fool be a fool. Always jumping into a fool's fight or arguing in a fool's argument is like grabbing a stray dog by the ear. It's not your dog, and it's not your fight. That is Proverbs 26:17. Just so you know. Recognize when somebody is being toxic, and that's why I always say test the spirit behind them. You know what I'm saying? Somebody could say something that is criticizing you, or that is, you know, they're giving you some type of advice, and you might feel offended at first, but then you're going to feel that conviction, and your mind is going to tell you, yeah, they're right, I was wrong. And you're going to go and apologize, or you're going to go forgive, or whatever it is, right? That's healthy. That's healthy communication. That's healthy rebuking, and you know what I mean? But you can tell when somebody is provoking you. They're trying to gain some type of response out of you. And the question is why? I saw somebody's post where she was talking about she's thinking about leaving YouTube. And in the comments, people were saying, yeah, they don't think they can deal with the trolls, that it's just too much for them. They don't know how they can handle the trolls. And I'm thinking to myself, you treat them like they're roaches, okay? These roaches, the roaches that come out when you have a guest over, and you're just like, now you want to come out? And you start like raising your voice up when you're talking to them, and they're looking at you like, why are you getting louder? Because you're hoping they keep their attention on you and not anything that's going on in the house. You try to move them to a whole different area of the house. And while they're gone, you know, reach over and try to grab the raid or something. Humble beginnings, y'all. Humble beginnings. The delete button or the hide user from channel is like the raid. Someone had commented something under my a video talking about, so you don't have any friends, but now you have an imaginary friend. And I was like, and they wrote this long paragraph. First of all, I said, I'm not about to read all of this. And I was thinking, I have never gotten this upset at somebody for saying they didn't believe in God the same way people get upset with me for saying that I do believe in God. Like, do we not see the difference here? Are we not seeing? I understand that people have church hurt and people have gone through trauma that is in regards to the church. But find the peace within yourself that you don't allow someone's experiences, someone's actions, someone's, whatever it is that they're going through to affect you. When you can master your own emotions around what somebody says or does, then you can definitely discern when someone is trying to be toxic with you, when someone is trying to provoke a negative response out of you. Because that right there was absolutely somebody trying to provoke a negative response out of me. And I was like, dang, I ain't never get this mad writing long paragraphs about why you should believe in God. I mean, like, really, I'm just telling my experience. I'm just telling my stories. That's all. And it offends people when I say, anything about God, the Holy Spirit. But you have to ask why. Why does it offend you so much? How come you're not willing to listen the way that I would be willing to listen to what you have to say? You know what I mean? Like, I was willing to learn about 5% Nation. I was willing to learn about the Anunnaki. I was willing to learn about Buddhism. I was willing to listen to a few Jehovah Witness sermons. I'm not Jehovah Witness. Somebody tried to say I was Jehovah Witness. I'm like, I ain't never been. I used to dodge when they would come knocking on the door. I would turn out all the lights. And I would wait, and I would just pretend it would be quiet. And then when they stopped knocking, I'll go over there and look out the peephole and see if they were gone. And they'd be like over at the neighbors or something. I would just wait till they were completely like down the street or out of the apartment building, because they come to the apartments too. Yeah. Now, what do? I still don't answer it. So anyway, I say all of this to say, recognize when people are trying to provoke you. Recognize when somebody is being toxic with you, and understand that it does not require your response. Your response is you do not have to respond to everything that people do to you that upsets you or anything like that. We have to first focus on mastering our own emotions. Learn to master your emotions, your anger, if somebody offends you, mastering how to respond to that. That is going to change your world tremendously. It really will. But anyway, if this resonates with you, go ahead and hit the like button, share, and subscribe, and I will talk to y'all later. Bye.